All right, thank you, Leanne. I want to thank the media for joining us here today via Zoom. As we are still going through the pandemic, we're trying to keep everybody safe and healthy, and we're very excited moving into our 2021 season. I know that during 2020, a lot of things have changed with the Black Bears. We're in a new league, the Major League Baseball Draft League. We have some new teams in our league, and it's going to be a very different experience coming into the ballpark this season, and it's going to be exciting. It's fun, and we're just excited to have fans be able to come and return and get back to normalcy here in the greater Morgantown area. Now, with the 2021 season, with the changes we have a new manager this year, and his name is Jedd Gyorko. He's been a Morgantown native, went to school at UHS. He played for WVU, and then he went on to his major league career, starting off with the Padres, the Cardinals, the Dodgers, and the Brewers. So he's very experienced, a lot of skill. He can work really well with some of the younger players. So I'm very excited to have Jedd come to the ballpark and be our manager and just be a part of the greater Morgantown community. So with that, I would like to introduce our fifth Black Bears manager, Jedd Gyorko.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Obviously, I'm excited for the new gig. Looking forward to it, and should be a fun summer. Hopefully, we can, as Matt said, get back to some normalcy. And glad to be back here in Morgantown. Obviously, this is home, but this summer I don't have to leave, which is pretty exciting. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Very simple opening statements. We'll go ahead and open up for questions if anyone has any. Okay. Oh, Sean, hold on. Go ahead, after you.
Hey, Jedd, has coaching always been something you wanted to do? And have you officially retired yet, or are you kind of leaving the door open for maybe a comeback at some point?
Yeah, it's always been something that's intrigued me. I always thought that I would be, pretty good at it. I've always felt like I've had a high baseball IQ. I really enjoy working with mostly my sons usually in their practice, but I'm looking forward to being to work with some college kids and hopefully help them progress and advance and get some knowledge going into the next level. Obviously, it's not easy to get to the big leagues, and I would have loved to have a league like this or someone that had been through it to kind of give me advice and what to expect. As far as being done, I haven't thrown the towel in yet. I haven't officially retired, but I wanted to stay home. I had multiple big league offers, this off season, and it was best. My wife and I just figured it'd be best for me to stay at home. We're expecting our fourth kid in June. And the league was actually gracious enough to that if an opportunity presents itself and it's something that I want to do, I can take that and go. But it definitely won't be until the baby's born in June, and I'm definitely committed to these kids. So that's I wouldn't have taken this job if I was planning on just jumping ship and leaving them high and dry. So I'm committed to the Black Bears and these kids and doing the best that I can for them.
All right. I believe, unless you had a follow-up, Sean, Cody Nesper was up next. Okay, Cody?
Hey, Jedd. Just with this new draft league and how it's different from the normal minor leagues, do you think there's going to be different coaching sort of points to focus on for these kids since they're not in anybody's system yet? It's not going to be like, one team is going to dictate what they want pitchers to do or what they want hitters to do and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be unique. To sit here and say I know exactly how it's going to go would just be a blatant lie. It's going to be we're going to kind of learn on the fly. This is new to everybody, but once we get the roster, which we have not gotten yet, I'm sure that'll be some questions. We haven't gotten a roster yet, so once we get those rosters, we'll have to kind of reach out to maybe some of the college coaches and also look at what these kids have done throughout this year. I'm expecting you're going to get some pitchers that have pitched a full season that are probably not going to have many innings left. So each player is going to be on a player-by-player basis as far as what they need, how many innings, how many at-bats they're going to get. But the main goal of this thing, obviously, it's always to win. That's always going to be the number one goal. But obviously keeping these kids safe and healthy, and then doing whatever we can to get them exposure. This is all about the kids and letting the scouts see them so they can try to do as well as they can, and hopefully get a chance at the next level.
And then if I could ask Matt a quick question.
Sure.
With the change from the New York Penn League to the Draft League, does that logistically change a lot in terms of travel or accommodations or anything like that?
Yes, there will be some changes. Like I mentioned before in my opening statement, that there's 2 new teams in the league. One being the Frederick Keys, and the other one be the Trenton Thunder. And there's only 6 teams in the league compared to 14. That really greatly reduces some of the bus time and travel that our players had. And I know that was always a big concern and issue when these teams were all affiliated, is how can we spend, the players can spend less time on the bus and more time with downtime, or, getting some tips from the managers and the coaching staff. So I think the new format will greatly improve the quality of life and health and wellness for our team.
All right, thank you.
All right, Ryan, I know that you had a question. If you'd like to go ahead, Ryan Decker.
Yeah, sure. Jedd, I guess if you can talk about some of the past coaches and managers that you've kind of played under, that you're going to kind of be gleaning on those experiences and what they've taught you to teach the next kind of group of players that you're going to be coaching up this summer.
Yeah, I guess I've never really thought too much about that, but I've played under some incredible managers. Started off with Buddy Black, who's been a coach, a manager of the year. Mike Matheny, I think he also won one. Craig Counsell, well, he won another one as well. So I think I've been under some pretty good. I think Mike Schill might have won one too. I'm not sure if he won it last year or not, but so I guess you could say I've been under some pretty good managers, and I've gotten to learn a lot from those guys. And just take bits and pieces from each guy. Dave Roberts, another guy. Well, I guess he was also a manager of the year, so maybe there's something to that. But I've taken a little bit from each of those guys. You just learn as you mature and get older as a ball player, and that's something that hopefully I can teach these kids. They're young and they're fresh, and they're going to be hopefully full of energy and ready to get their career started. So hopefully I can guide them in the right direction.
Do you have any follow-ups, Ryan?
Yeah, I guess I was going to say, is there anything specific from those guys that you think you might take from them? And then I guess I don't know how much you've thought about this, but your playing experience versus any experience you get from those guys, what do you think that balance might kind of be?
Yeah, I think the balance is gonna be good, just because, especially with me, obviously I don't have any managing experience, but I'm fresh right out of the game, and I've been, like I said before, I've been around so many good coaches that I've learned a lot of things from them. And one of the main things that I've learned from them is just to be a good communicator. I know when I played, I just wanted to know what was going on, what the team saw in me, how my role was going to be. So that's the one thing that I plan on doing a really good job, is being open. I'm going to have an open door policy to my office at all times. If anyone needs to come in and ask me any questions, I'm always going to be available to them. And I don't want anyone on my team guessing as to what will happen or what could happen. It's going to be an open book.
Cool. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks.
Let's see, Daniel, do you have any questions?
Just one for Jedd here. As you look forward into this opportunity here, what aspect of coaching this team are you most excited for, whether it be the player development aspect, the on-field coaching? What are you most excited for that this opportunity is going to present you with?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward just to, getting to see the kids and getting to, teach them and kind of guide them in the right direction. These kids, like I said, I would have loved to have this opportunity that these kids will have to be able to, play for someone that's been through pretty much everything and a whole league to showcase your talents. So I'm really looking forward to seeing these kids come out and play. I can't wait to see how hungry they are to get after it and to try to teach them.
Thank you, Daniel. Carly, I see your hand was up.
Yeah, thank you. Jedd, for you, when you were making this decision to not take any MLB offers and kind of transition this summer to the role, what was that deciding factor? Like, hey, I'm ready to, become a manager, and what makes you prepared to do this?
I'd say the the main reason was probably my wife being pregnant with our fourth kid definitely had a lot to do with it. I've never spent a summer with my kids. I've never seen them play a baseball game. That's something that has really been tough on me, and they're getting to that age that I feel like I need to be around a little bit more. It's just something that I've been thinking about. It's always a tough decision to not go and play something that your whole life has pretty much revolved around. But I was pretty fortunate this opportunity showed up. It allows me to obviously stay in Morgantown, but to stay in the game of baseball and do something that I've always thought about doing. So to gain that experience as well should be great.
And for Matt, in the interview process, what stuck out about Jedd that you said, hey, he's the guy for us?
Well, I think a lot has to do when we're going for the hiring process through all the managers in the draft league is that one, their overall experience, having major league experience, working through the minors, and just how they can grasp and, like how Jedd mentioned, be more of a mentor to these young baseball players, so they know the ropes, the ins and the outs, the good and the bads. And the best way to be able to communicate that, like Jedd says, just to have someone who's been able to live through that and be able to, describe and explain those experiences regarding everything from long bus rides and missing family, and how Jedd mentioned with none of our players, some could be married with kids, but just dealing with family issues. How do you go not seeing your parents, your brothers and sisters, or your loved ones for a course of a season, because it's not easy. You play just about every single day, and you're all around for us all around the Northeast area, so it's a challenge. And I think that'd be a great thing for Jedd. And also with Jedd is just his local ties into Morgantown, and his everything he's done community wise, and he's always been involved a lot of things behind the scenes. And that's kind of when we're looking for a manager that, say, hey, Morgantown's a great place to live. We have a great opportunity here with the Black Bears. And that he was very, very excited about the offer. And I'm glad that he accepted, and we were able to bring him on board.
There's some people who still have their hands up. I just want to double check that we don't have any additional questions. Sean and Ryan both have their hands up still. Okay, Sean, go ahead then. You first. Sorry.
That's fine. This is for Matt. With the draft, correct me if I'm wrong here too, with the draft league and the draft being in July, after the draft, everybody will be in different organizations. Do the rosters stay the same? How is that going to work with this new league?
That's a great question. A lot of it depends on the individual teams that these players have been selected to. Some of them have like a 60-day policy where they don't touch any of the mechanics. They don't do anything with them. So a lot of teams said, hey, we might keep our players in the draft league. So they're still getting that experience. They're still being, managed and coached. So when they become, after the season's over and they head down to expanded spring training or down to fall ball, they still have that, energy level, and they got some good experience here. So a lot of it's going to be, wait to see what happens. And if there are some players that, will get drafted by whatever team and they say no, there's still, college level players that still will go for the experience. And if it's like 30 days, a lot of them want to be able to grasp that opportunity and, polish up their skills. Mainly if there were some juniors that might not got selected, they're going to go back to their senior year. That's another year, another 30 days of experience through working with Jedd and coaching staff here for the Black Bears.
Thank you, Sean. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, this is a question for Matt as well. I guess, Matt, can you just speak to why fans of baseball in the Morgantown area and surrounding areas, why we should be excited for the MLB Draft League season that's obviously fast approaching? Can you just kind of speak to that?
Yeah, I know it's a different concept, and we're really excited about it here because the thought process would be is that we're going to get these premier college level players, your juniors and your seniors that are all going to be draft eligible. So you start looking at how the roster could break down is that instead of like when we were the Pirates, we had one pick per round, depending on how the players get selected and everything, we could have multiple players that were drafted, in the 3rd round or the 4th round or the 10th round, or vice versa. So I think that the quality of players will definitely be equal or potentially better. Year one is always year one, and we'll see how it does. I know there's some COVID issues with players wanting to be involved or not, so we'll see how that kind of shakes out here in the next couple of weeks. And then the other thing, when you start looking at the roster, it's just not, like I said before, with the players, they're just not going to be Pirate players. We got to get players being drafted by the Yankees or the Angels or, whatever major league teams that someone might be able to follow, that we have that instead of just with one organization, that our alumni will be able to go through all the teams in major leagues. And that'll kind of be exciting to, see our brand and our product, with, other major league organizations.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? Okay, oh, wait, where did you go? Carly, go ahead.
Jedd, what does the next couple of weeks look like for you in terms of putting your staff together and getting ready for the season?
Yeah, we're finalizing the staff now. It should be, maybe Matt might have a better idea when that will be released. But we are getting the coaches lined up. There will be a release, I believe, when that gets finalized. And then, the players don't actually come in until a couple of days before we start the games, just because they're playing their seasons. There's obviously they got to finish up their college seasons, and players will be trickling in probably at different times. And even once we start, there's still going to be players coming in and out, depending on how their seasons go and whether they're going to come with us or not. So I think the rosters are going to be revolving pretty much this entire time. So it's like Matt said, it's year one. There's going to be a lot of adjustments that have to be made, but we're all excited about the league and what it could become, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, and regarding the other staff members, with the 6 teams, we're almost all set for our coaching staff. I know some of the other teams in our league, they're still working out a 4th coach or something regarding that. So hopefully by the end of the week or early next week, we'll be able to announce all of our staff members for the Black Bears.
I think everyone who's on the actual call has been able to ask a question. Is there anyone that's called in who would be able to ask a question now? I'm not sure if anyone wants to. I'm not even sure how to unmute that. Okay, then if there are no more questions, we will go ahead and close. If you have anything else, you can submit all of your inquiries to the West Virginia Media Gmail account. I will be sending a copy of this video out once we have everything